line of scrimmage, dropped at the 42. My.
Well, that was a fake handoff, and I think they were going to swing the ball to Rivera, but Gloucester got in so quickly that he couldn't execute the play.
6:33 left to go in the first quarter. First possession of the ball game tonight here in Gloucester. Revere, Gloucester, no score. This will be the 11th play of this drive for the Revere Patriots. They started at their own 34-yard line, and they are now at the Gloucester 42 after getting as close as the 37. But here we go with a 3rd and 15 now. One man in protection, 2 off to the left, 2 off to the right for the quarterback. Receivers, that is. Low snap, rolling to his left. Short pass complete, down low, and run back to the 35, close to the 31-yard line. Good yardage for Victor Rivera, but not enough for the first down.
No, but it's probably, they'll probably go for it. I don't see any sense in punting.
Well, let's see what they put it. It's at the 31. So that was 11-yard gain. That can't be right. I got it. It's at the.
It's at the 30, 31.
Yeah, that's at 31. Yeah, it was 11-yard gain. So that was a big loss before that, apparently, because we've got a 4th and 4. Okay. Another brain cramp. Had a few of them today. Ball is on the near hash mark, and we've got 4 receivers out, 2 on each side. Thrown to the right, it is caught. We've got a first down on a tremendous catch over on the right side by John DeSimone, 6 feet, 160.
Well, what was impressive about that pass is it was just a stop route to get to the first down, but the defender was on the inside of the receiver, and the quarterback, which you're supposed to do, is threw it to the outside. It was a beautiful throw.
Yep. So quarterback Sullivan is 7 out of 8 right now for 47 yards on this drive. We're inside the 5-minute mark. Clock keeps on rolling. Gloucester has yet to touch the ball here in this first quarter, and Revere knocking on the door at the Gloucester 24-yard line. With the man in motion, Sullivan, plenty of time, launches for the end zone. DeSimone, the intended receiver, and it's intercepted by Gloucester. That number 13, Paul?
I think it's Nate Young, number 12.
Number 12 is the Gloucester quarterback. That's Young. Over the shoulder catch. Just caught it before he went out of the back end line of the end zone. And there's a turnover, and Gloucester takes over. Wow. Mercy. So 16 and 26, 42 yards of offense goes for naught for Revere. Nate Young takes the interception. Ball comes out to the 20 with the touchback. Gloucester gets its hands on the ball for the first time tonight.
Speaking with Tom Walsh, one of the assistant coaches, that Jermaine Edward is banged up, and I don't see him starting at fullback. Maybe that is him?
Well, here's it Smith in the backfield, and he gets the handoff with a big flag going out at the 25-yard line where Smith was downed.
I think Sanfilippo's got a
holding on Gloucester.
Is a little banged up too, and hasn't practiced at full speed, so we'll see how much they play.
Well, it makes a difference, and that's going to put the ball back at least to the, well, it's going to bring back to the 15. The holding was right at the completion where the play ended at the 25, so it goes back to the 15. So it's a net 5-yard loss after the 5-yard gain by Smith. And run play. This is Sanfilippo, squirts out to the 26-yard line. So he gets the penalty yardage plus. Gets it out to the 26.
9 of the play. Going to bring up a second and about 4 for the loss.
And it is a 9-yard gain for Sanfilippo. So the ball just over the 26-yard line. First possession for Gloucester. Chris Cassateri, Kyle Acapel, Chris Hernandez, Ryan Gabriel, Kevin Gabriel up front for the Fishermen. Nate Young is the quarterback. Trying to set the backfield as soon as we can see all the numbers. Sanfilippo is the halfback. He gets the counter play, goes out to the left side, and gets very close to the first down at the 30.
I don't know if it's on purpose, but, well, first of all, Revere is right up, got 11 in the box. The safety is probably the deepest guy at like 4 yards, and looks like they're flip-flopping their defense.
It looks like they're going to be...
Going to measure it. Well, Gloucester, I think, threw the ball twice last week, Paul.
Oh, really?
Yep, twice. For a big one was a big completion.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
well, I mean, if you don't need to, why throw the ball?
That's why they got so many men at the box, I would presume.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say, Rick, is that it does, you want to build confidence in your passing game, and it comes, to when you're playing against good competition, really good competition, and you have to complete a few.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
keep them honest, as they say. All right, a couple of inches short, and so Gloucester will face a third and less than one. The officials in tonight's ball game, according to Phil Brody, who's keeping the clock up here, thanks, Phil, is Don Warner is the referee, the umpire Brett Connolly, Gino Borgonzi is the line judge, Tom Serino the linesman, and the back judge is Brendan Seven. 3rd and 1 for Gloucester, up tight at the 30. Everybody at the line of scrimmage. Handoff, counterplay. First down Gloucester, barely, but they did get it. And I don't know who is the running back. It's Sanfilippo again.
It's just an off-tackle play for a tight formation.
So it is a first down, and ball is it's at the 33. So we got about 3, and Gloucester picks up its first down of the night with 2:35 left to go. Fishermen headed toward the canal with the wind at their backs, and not much wind to speak of at the moment. 1st and 10 Gloucester, and you can see everybody so close to the line of scrimmage. Gloucester with a tight formation. Rolling to his right. No, it's Smith with the handoff, and he gets good yardage across the 40 to the 42.
Well, Gloucester went to a slot formation with Sanfilippo on this side and a wing on the other side. It's jet play. What's good about the jet play is your guard, your play side guard. He doesn't need to block the man over him. The jet goes by so quickly, the defensive lineman that's over the guard can't make the play, so you got an extra block, you just send him right downfield.
Big guys up front, Dave Martino, Anthony DiStefano, Devin Matthias, and Johnny Hill for Revere. With a 2nd and 2 for Gloucester at the 8-yard gain. They're at their own 41. Here's a handoff again on a sweep to the right, or an end around, I should say. Let me get it right. It's a run to the right. Sanfilippo gets the first down as he was just a counter play, and he was at left halfback, came around, ran to the right, and got the first down.
Yeah, it's just a sweep to the halfback. Pretty basic plays.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's out to the 48, so Gloucester is gaining some yardage now. Revere had the ball for 13 plays on its first possession and then lost it on the interception. Gloucester now is running its 7th play on its first possession. So clock moving with 1:31 left to go. Revere is jumping its linebackers. That allows some room for Sanfilippo to bust through, and he goes out for the first down to the 43-yard line, maybe the 42. Revere jumping. Oh, it's not Sanfilippo. It's Ryan Argentino.
Yeah, I guess Edward is not going to play on offense, at least to start the game.
Second and 1.
Okay, so it's at the Revere 43.
Territory down the Revere 43-yard line.
So almost a 9-yard gain, but call it, it's 2nd and 1. So it is a 9-yard gain. So Edward not playing. That's huge, Paul. He is a workhorse. He's a speed, and 120 yards, 130 yards every game.
Right, but he's got a bad ankle, so you're always in the back of your mind. Do you play and risk getting it worse, or do you let him have a week off?
So Ryan Argentino filling the void. He's 5'9", 190, and that was
wow. He stuffed the fullback trap.
Yep. So no gain on that run play for Gloucester, and the last man up, is that Argentino again? At 8 or 9, I can't tell. Well, you can see on the screen who it was, so if it's 8, it's Argentino. If it's 9, it's Sanfilippo.
Boy, I don't know if he got that far.
Well, we're going to call no gain. He lost maybe half a yard. Now it's 3rd and 1 for Gloucester. Again, they're going from left to right on the near hash mark, heading toward the canal. Smith is the wing off to the right. Under center is quarterback Nate Young with a split backfield. And off to the left halfback. And there's big yardage for Sanfilippo, and he's tripped up at the 27, or he was gone. Whoa, first down, Gloucester. Nice saving tackle by the defensive back, and I did not get the number. Ball is at the 24-yard line. So that's a 19-yard gain for San Filippo. Fourth carry on this drive that started back at the Gloucester 20, inside the 22nd mark. Maybe get this last play off here to end the quarter. No score so far in this one, each team with one possession. 10 seconds left to go, clock moving, Young under center, and it's an end around, wing around. There goes Smith out to the left side. He gets close to the first down to the 20. He was set up at the right wing, and he just swept to the left, and he's very close to the first down with no time remaining in this first quarter. So they're going to put it at the Revere 20.
Last chance to get 50-50 tickets.
It was at the 34 prior to that, right? So it was just an 11-yard game. All right, so we've got a break here at the end of one. It's no score from Newell Stadium here in Gloucester. We will be right back. You're listening to MSO News Sports, high school football on MSO.
The Gloucester House Restaurant at historic Seven Seas Wharf, 63 Rogers Street, Gloucester. This is owner Lenny Linquata.
We provide service and product better than anybody else. It comes directly from our boats right to your plate. We have fishermen that work great for us. We are wholesalers that we buy what we want to serve to our customers, and we put the rest of it right out in the market.
The Gloucester House Restaurant. Visit thegloucesterhouse.com.
This is the freshest seafood you can get from our boats to your plate.
If you're thinking of renovating your home, please talk to the experienced sales staff at Moynihan Lumber. That's 82 River Street in downtown Beverly. Or visit us at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
All right, back at Newell Stadium, we rolled through the first quarter with no score, each team with one possession, as Revere had the ball for 13 plays and amassed 42 yards. Gloucester has had the ball now for 10 plays. They face a 2nd and 1 at the Revere 20-yard line. So they've gone post to post here. They've gone from the 20 to the 20. And I believe that's 60 yards if you add them up. No score, though, as we start this second quarter. First play, Gloucester now moving away from the canal toward the street, into the wind, such as it is, and there's no wind right now. San Filippo on a counter play doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe he does. But
He might have gotten it on his own, but they're really sending people off the corner, which you can't blame them. That's Gloucester's getting to the outside and picking up a lot of yardage.
Gloucester last week had a lot of trouble running up the middle until about the middle of the second half. Yeah. And then they were...
Well, most teams will say you got to stop the fullback trap. If you're running the fullback trap successfully, the defense is in really big trouble.
So Swampscott, Revere up at the line of scrimmage, right up the middle. They're going to get the first down. Good line surge. Got a couple of yards that time. I'm guessing it was San Filippo again.
Well, I think it's the fullback.
What's the number? 8. All right, so that is Argentino. Ryan Argentino gets the first down. And the ball is down to the 18-yard line. So I got a couple.
Argentino's just a sophomore, so this is a big game for him.
1st and 10. Mark Smith, I believe, is also a sophomore. A couple of important players on offense. Eric Camerons is the tight end on that right side. And here's a counter play again, going to the left side, and it's, I think it's number 8. Is it 9?
9.
It is San Filippo inside the 15 to the 13. Almost a 5-yard gain. Called a 5-yard gain to the 13. 2nd and 5 now for Gloucester. 9:31 left to go in the first half. This will be the 14th play of this drive. So each team has had the ball for 13 plays in this game with no score and one possession for each team. There you see that tight formation again with the wing off to the left. That's Smith in motion. Young pitches to the right side to San Filippo, following some blocks, sweeps to the right, stays on his feet. Looked like he was down, but he had his hand down, kept his balance, and he goes in for the touchdown. Christian San Filippo makes the score 6-0 with 9:04 left to play first half. 13-yard TD for San Filippo. And Gloucester leads after a 14-play 80-yard touchdown drive. They lead 6-0 to start this second half.
Well, Revere made them work for it, that's for sure. And we'll see if Revere can put something on the board themselves. This extra point, let's see how they do. Gloucester
Yeah, these
does.
are critical. These are always an adventure. This one is wide left.
Yeah.
It was straight on kick, I think. I looked up at the last second
Yes,
after
it
running
was.
by Brandon Rivera, and hit plenty of distance, but kicker's having trouble at that end of the field, either shooting left or right for some reason.
Well, I think both teams are struggling with the extra point. I know Coach Ciccatelli said that was a huge thing for them. They have not been able to get extra points.
I've asked you about it before, but I will ask you again. How difficult is it, Paul, if you don't have someone who's really a natural at it? Can you develop someone for?
Yeah, you can, but you got to start. There's some kids that just come out for football and they don't really realize that they've got a good leg, and you can teach them. But you got to spend a lot of time every day. They have to work on it. They can't just do it once or twice a week. And then you have the kid, that. That's been doing it all the time. But I'll tell you, if you don't have somebody to try to go for 2 all the time, it's so hard to get that ball in the end zone for 2 points consistently.
Well, we've seen that for sure this year. 6-0 Gloucester, and now they will kick off, and there's a long high kick by Rivera that's going to come down to the 15-yard line, return to the 20, 25, and that is Lopez, I believe, all the way out to the 35 of Revere. Oscar Lopez with a return. And Revere again in good field position. And total yards in the game, 80 for Gloucester, 42 for Revere so far. Each team with long ball control possessions. One time in this first half so far. Over on Channel A, it's Danver at Lynn Classical. And tomorrow we will have Lynn English at Beverly. That game is a 2:30 start due to the SATs. Second possession for Revere, starting at their own 35-yard line. Got to see if we can gauge how much of a crowd is here tonight. Oh, it's very sparse tonight. So it is first and 10 for Revere with the quarterback under center this time. Sullivan will hand off or fumble it. He fumbled it. Gloucester has it. Wow.
Well, I don't know. I think it was the nose man, the man that plays over the center. He was in the backfield almost before the ball was, and
well, Jacob Russell.
It looked like they changed their strategy. They were going to try and go with a two tight end formation with a wing, and Gloucester went right through the gap and met the quarterback, running back mesh.
Sullivan was 7 for 8 for 47 yards on the first possession, but that time they went to the ground game, and I believe it was Russell who messed things up. Ball is at the 31-yard line, or made the recovery. So Nate Young gives it to Sanfilippo to the 25, and again, the original line of scrimmage is the 31. So he's going to gain about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. 8:37 left to go in this half. Gloucester just having taken the lead, get the turnover on the fumble. 2 possessions for Revere, 2 turnovers, and that's not a great way for the Patriots to start for Coach Ciccatelli.
Looks like it's called a sweep, but really what Gloucester's doing is they take the wing back, the tight end, everybody blocks down, and the front side guard kicks out, and the running back turns it up just off tackle.
And Sanfilippo with a run play kind of tripped up in the backfield, loses a yard back to the 26.
Now that was off tackle. That's where the tight end blocks down and the fullback kicks the defensive end out. What you're really doing with the wing T is you're putting the defensive end in conflict. He doesn't know where it's coming from. Either wingback's blocking down on him, the guard's kicking him out, the fullback's kicking him out.
That's good commentary and conflict. That's what I am. I don't know where they're going. Nate Young fires it to the left, and it's almost caught, and then it's almost intercepted. It was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, I think.
Mark Smith.
It is Smith. Yeah. And then on the other side of things, John C. DeSimone, after the bounce up, almost intercepted it.
Well, they usually on that pop pass, the receiver will just turn around and give him a stationary target. Smith kept running, and it was a moving target, and the ball was thrown a little bit behind him.
So it's 4th down and 6 now for Gloucester as they are at the 31-yard line. They're just shy of the 31-yard line of Revere with the big 4th down play. Here we go on a counter reverse. And this is going to be stopped for a big loss and a penalty on Gloucester, I believe, as Rivera Lopez makes the tackle on Smith and stops the fisherman. And I'm pretty sure the penalty is on Gloucester as well. Wow, terrific defensive play.
That's kind of been Gloucester's outplay. In other words, when you need a play for big yardage, they've been running that reverse to Smith. So that's why you watch film, and that's where you get tendencies that teams do. Tendencies, what plays they tend to call in certain situations.
So Revere gets it after the stop by Lopez. Penalty, of course, declined. 7:26 left to go first half. And a good defensive stop that time by Revere after giving up the ball.
Now they're going back to the spread.
And they are, again, starting at their own 32. Or 27, I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
And looks like we'll have another delay of game, maybe?
No, they were in motion.
Yep, motion.
Motion penalty against Revere.
There's a slight drizzle. But I don't think it's enough to affect the passing game.
Well, as long as it doesn't affect our streaming, live video streaming here with Alex Sanfilippo and Jason Vazina. They're outside in the rain. And we're comfortably inside this brand new press box. What is it, 4 years old now? This is the 4th season, Paul?
I believe so, Rick.
4th season already. Good grief. Man.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, so Sullivan, the quarterback now, is back in the shotgun. It's 1st and 15 for Revere with DeSimone in motion. It's going to be a run play, and I think it's Rivera. Is it 2 or 5? It's 5. That's Rivera, Victor Rivera.
When Revere goes in motion, Gloucester's blitzing to the side of the motion that he's going to. So Revere just went in motion, but they ran the back the opposite direction. Didn't get much. Of course, you're missing a blocker now that you put a man in motion, so...
All right, so it's about a 2-yard gain, maybe 3, 2nd and 12 for Revere. They're in the spread with 2 receivers off to the left, 2 more off to the right. Sullivan back in the shotgun, waiting for the snap. Gloucester attacking the ball. Sullivan rolling to his left, shoots it long, high, and overthrown at the 37-yard line of Gloucester, as DeSimone was the intended receiver down that far sideline. So for quarterback Sullivan, let's see here now, 7 out of 9 for 47 yards and the 1 interception. That stops the clock with 6.5 left to go in the first half. Well, interesting game here.
They put him in a semi-roll, probably giving him time to throw the ball deeper, get the receiver deeper. But they were so successful with the shorter pass routes, because Gloucester's still playing at least 10 yards off, and 10-yard cushion is quite a bit.
6:37 left to go first half. Gloucester 6-0 here at Newell Stadium. Now 2 backs in the backfield with Sullivan. And play action, throws it short. That's incomplete. Just tried to dump it off to Rivera. He couldn't hang on. I think he saw someone coming at him. And Anthony Petrilli coming out holding his right arm for Gloucester.
Up in the air.
So 4th down now and 12 for Revere, and they will punt it. Strange game. We had 2 long possession drives for each team, and then no first downs after that for either team. This is a high punt that's going to come down to Cameron at his own 40-yard line. Jukes at the 45 to the 50 down the sideline. Penalty on Gloucester as Cameron returned it to about the 37 of Revere, but I think we'll be bringing this thing back for a block in the back.
Any change of possession, you can't block below the waist. So they assume that's what the penalty will be.
Good return to the Revere 37 for Cameron. Yep, it's signaling holding. No,
blocking the back.
Yep, blocking the back.
Blocking the back.
So
against the fisherman.
that hurts. After a nice return by Cameron.
So that'll put the fisherman back.
Oh, maybe that's why I got a nice return. I don't know. So, with Fishermen leading 6-0, they'll have to return to their own 43, and that's not a bad place to start a drive. Your own 43. 6:20 to go. Only touchdown of the game. Christian Sanfilippo for Gloucester, a 13-yarder on a sweep to the right at 9:04 of this second quarter. 1st and 10 Gloucester at their own 43. They're going from right to left. Young wants to pass. Short pass, overthrown to Argentino, who was about 5 yards away from him, and he just fired it through his hands.
Well, really, that was the fullback in the flat, but they had the tight end wide open. He was the middle receiver. What you do is layer those pass routes. In other words, you got the fullback on the line of scrimmage, you got the tight end that's about 10 yards deeper, and then you got the wingback that's probably at 20 yards deeper.
And they're rolling the same side as the quarterback.
Yeah, they're rolling in the same. Yeah, it's a misdirection bootleg.
So the quarterback should be able to spot if he looks. Okay. So it's 2nd and 10 for Gloucester after the incompletion. Run play, stacked up for no gain. Driven. Smith is driven about 10 yards backwards. Oh, my goodness. By, who is that? By Frank Sims.
Well, what they did is they put Edwards back in the game. That's the first play I've seen him on offense, and they tried to pop a trap, and the two traps Gloucester's run, they've lost yardage.
Was that Edward? I thought it was Smith with the ball.
No, it was Edward.
Oh,
yeah, I think he's in there now. If you look.
It's back to the 42, so it's only a 1-yard loss, but boy, he was driven backwards a whole bunch after that. So play action, rolling to his right, quarterback Young. Stops, plants, throws, complete at the 50. And first down yardage to the 45-yard line. Smith, Mark Smith.
No, I believe it was number 2. Is it Emerson?
Okay, I'm Oliver Emerson, yep.
Yeah. He's the tight end, and he drifted across, and what happened was the other flat was covered, so he just pulled up in the middle of the field, and Nate Young did a good job finding him. No sense of running across the field if there's coverage over there.
Well, and Young stopped and planted that time and got the open receiver. Now here's a run play sweep to the left, and that is Smith, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Looks like he's going to be taken down for loss of inches on the play.
2nd and 10 Gloucester inside the 5-minute mark. And Gloucester with a big clutch play just a minute ago, right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Young under center with 2 men in the backfield. Same play. This time it's Argentino. He's going to go. It's Sanfilippo. 20, 10, touchdown. It is Christian Sanfilippo who broke through 45 yards. Gloucester up 12-0.
45-yard run by Sanfilippo.
That looked like the same play they ran on a prior play.
Well,
different runner.
It was a little bit different. The first play, it was a slot. They had Sanfilippo next to the tight end with the split end outside of him, and they ran the sweep to Smith. This time, Smith was over here next to the tight end and was not unbalanced like the first time, and Sanfilippo ran it.
Whoa, okay, so that's a 45-yard sweep that time to the left. Second touchdown for Sanfilippo. And the Fishermen will go for 2. Run play, and it's going to be Smith going in for the 2 points. And Gloucester now leading 14-0 with 4:39 left to go in the half. For Gloucester, that is a 5-play, 57-yard touchdown drive. Their first touchdown on their first possession, 14 plays and 80 yards. So, let's see, we had 4 and 84, 57, 11, carry the 141 yards right now for Gloucester total offense. And let's see, for Revere, they started with that. And let's see, -3. Well, Revere has 39 yards total offense, Paul. That's a surprise. I thought they were moving the ball, but apparently they're not. Gloucester leading 14-0, 4:39 left to go. Again, over on Channel on Channel A, it's Danvers at Lynn Classical tomorrow, Lynn English at Beverly. This is our live streaming video game. Of course, tomorrow's game at 2:30 in Beverly. Alex Sanfilippo, Jason Fazina doing the live video streaming for us. And we have a new app. The app is available on your iPhone as well. Just take a look at MSONEWSports app, and you can get it for free. On the kickoff, the ball goes out of bounds inside the Revere 30. Let's see if looks like they're going to put their offense on the field and take it with the penalty. Last week, Swampscott had Gloucester kick over after that, and they ended up 12 yards further back than they would have been if they had taken it out of bounds.
Well, this is pretty good field position.
It's at the 34.
Still having problem kicking the ball.
I believe last week it was at the 35 initially, and they ended up back inside their own 25. Well, anyway, it's 1st and 10 Revere at their own 33-yard line. Trailing now 14-0. And their offense, which looked so good on the first drive, has sputtered a little bit here since then. There's a pass out to the left, completes to DeSimone in the backfield. Gets forward yardage across the 40-yard line to about the 42. Was that 81 or 11?
I didn't see, Rick.
Well, I'm not sure. I thought it was 11, DeSimone, but it might have been Bader Hayu. So it is pickup of about 7 or 8 to the Revere 42. We'll give it 9 yards on the far hash mark. This time Sullivan is under center with a man in motion. Handoff on a run play off of tackle. It's going to be first down yardage for Revere. Probably Eddie Bello with the carry.
What happens is if Revere runs that shotgun formation and throws the ball at the Gloucester lineman, just tee off, and it's so hard to block when they know when it's block them when they know it's going to be a pass. All right, he's under center again.
First down, under center on the far hash mark. 1st and 10 at their own 45. Revere with the ball. And this is handoff to the second play, run and around. It is Lopez. There he goes, 30, out of bounds at the 20. No, he stays in bounds and cuts it inside to the 10-yard line. So Victor Rivera, not Lopez, it's number 5 with the carry. Terrific run by Rivera. I guess he's the guy with the hips, huh? Man, can he move
quick?
Yep, quick, and can cut on a dime. But they're going to bring it back. Well, we got the ancient honorable cheering section down in front of us. These guys go back to the 50s, and they're having a ball.
He's tough in the open field.
Ball would have been at the 10-yard line of Gloucester. And with the clipping play,
wow,
going to bring it back to the 34.
1st and 21.
Well, it's a delayed play, and probably what happened, we don't have replay here. I wish you'd get it, Rick, but it looked like the outside receiver.
I like the way you just slid that in there. Yeah. Okay, we'll get it for next week, all right?
It looked like the outside receiver cracked back and blocked below the waist.
All right.
You can't crack back and block below the waist.
Sadly for Revere, that's a gigantic penalty. They would have been at the Gloucester 10. They're back at their own 34. It's an 11-yard loss from scrimmage. And so it's 1st and 21 yards to go for the first down for Revere. Counterplay the other time. There goes Rivera on the other side. Same play, other side. This time he gains about, well, he might have been lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Right. Nate Young did a good job out there. The trick to that is if you're a defender, you want to keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. You don't want to turn your shoulders. Once you turn your shoulders to a back like that, he'll beat you.
About 2 yards. And I don't know if I want to see if Petrilli's in the lineup. See if you see 51 on defense, Coach. But Jacob Russell and Anthony Petrilli,
yeah, he's out there.
Stars last week, certainly. Joe Brancaleone and Ryan Gabriel on defense, the defensive line for Gloucester. 2:10 left to go in the first half. 14-0 Gloucester. Revere facing a 2nd and 19. There's a pass overthrown out to the left, to the right side, I should say. And Rivera was the intended receiver at the 37, but the ball was in no man's land. Linebackers for Gloucester: Eric Cameron, Jermaine Edward, Damon Brown, Kyle Acapel, and the defensive backs: Nate Young, Matt Smith, Mark Smith. And let me see who 28 is. It's a third down and 19 at the 2:03 mark here now this first half. Gloucester in front. Revere trying to get its bearings back on offense again, facing a 3rd and 19. Looked like they had him a minute ago with that long run by Rivera that was called back, and now we have another penalty.
Gloucester called timeout.
Okay. I think it's their first.
That was an unusual, well, for 3rd and 20, they came out with a tight formation, so probably they were going to run some type of reverse.
Gloucester Youth Fishermen Mighty Mites.
Well, again, not a gigantic crowd here. Not bad. Stands about a third full. Of course, the weather is threatening. It is has been raining lightly. Wind again now is blowing from left to right. And it's a little cool with the wind. It's not all that unpleasant. How's the field hold up with rain, Paul? How is it out there?
Oh, it's perfect. It's really...
3rd and 19 for Revere.
They drain so well that you really don't even know it's wet.
Sullivan in the shotgun, rolling to his right, looking way downfield, throws a wobbling pass. It's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted by Gloucester. Matt Smith had it and dropped it, and the intended receiver was Victor Rivera. And in a display of sportsmanship, Rivera tapped Smith on the shoulder pads afterwards. Said, "Nice try." That's pretty cool. Rivera was nowhere near it. Ball was a wobbler. I think the wind might have got a hold of it, or maybe the quarterback didn't get a grip on it. So anyway, incomplete. Would have been intercepted at the Gloucester 30. Now we have a punt set up for Revere on their 4th down. Punt will be from about the 26. It's a line drive kick. Bounces at the Gloucester 35, right into the arms of the Gloucester receiver to the 30, 35. On this side, 45, and stopped at about the 47-yard line. Kind of a nifty return by Pena Ortiz, I believe. I think it was 28. That's Jan Pena Ortiz, a sophomore, 5'6", 165, and Gloucester just keeps finding these kids, these young guys who fill in.
Well, they are young, too.
Yeah. Penalty on Gloucester. Looks like a holding. We'll drive it back to the 37.
It may cost you. Having the younger kids play now may cost you. But, next year they've got that year under their belt and nothing better than experience.
Yeah, they've got several sophomores who are contributing. $1.43 left to go in the first half. Gloucester up 14-0. Hand off to Smith on the end around. There he goes to the 40, down that far sideline, and close to the first down. The wing around from left to right, covering the width of the field and then cutting it upfield for some pretty good yardage.
Looks like it's enough for a Gloucester first down on their own 40.
No, they give him the first down, and it's out to the 47, just a 10-yard gain for Smith. And the clock is stopped. Must have gone out of bounds. I didn't see anybody call timeout. Fisherman right back to the line. Chris Cassateri, 6'1", 230, big center for the Fisherman.
Here's that unbalanced line.
And this is another run play in the other direction from right to left. Sanfilippo breaks it all the way down to the Revere 34 or 33-yard line. And the clock is stopped. Another first down for Gloucester. Gloucester right back to the line of scrimmage. 20-yard gain for Sanfilippo. 1st and 10, Gloucester. Sanfilippo, right side, sees an opening. There he goes, he's gone. Touchdown, Sanfilippo. Hurdles somebody at the 10 and goes in unscathed. His 3rd of the first half.
Sanfilippo is doing a great job running the ball, but you also got to give credit to the wingback, the tight end, and the play side guard. There's some massive hole there, so they're certainly doing their job.
And Paul, it looks, I can't tell, but it looks like also like 5 or 6 yards down the line of scrimmage is still blocking, because he's able to get that far before he actually
Well, the backside guard
shoots through.
actually pulls around, and he leads the play down the field, and that's happening too. So
Okay, so that is, this time it's a 33-yard touchdown run on another sweep. This was, I don't even remember now, but here's a point after attempt, and this is a line drive that just goes over the crossbar. So they get the extra point, and Gloucester now leads 21-0 with 1:12 left to go in the first half. That is 3 plays and 63 yards for the Fishermen, who just are starting to pull away now.
Sampolipo! Viva! Sampolipo! Viva! Sampolipo!
I guess that's a play on Viva San Pedro. Sanfilippo's third touchdown, runs of 17, check it, 13, 45, and 33 yards in this first half, in the second quarter alone. Gloucester leading 21-0. They've amassed 204 yards of total offense right now to Revere's 36. And what looked to be a really good start for Revere has evaporated. So this kickoff is, it hits, I think, a Revere receiver up front, and it's covered up at the 35-yard line. I think it
did. It hit the Revere lineman, and sometimes that ball will go right back towards the kicker.
Yeah, it bounced off of Jonathan Murphy, but then it was covered up at the 35 by Revere, and they will take over. Now they got a minute and 11 seconds left to try to get something on the board. They had a very promising first series, and that's been it. That was it. Gloucester took over after that on first series. Quarterback Sullivan was 5 out of 5 at one point. So they're starting at the Revere 36. Sullivan is under center this time with a split backfield. He's going to hand off to a running back counter play. This is Lopez. Comes around to the right side, close to the 40, before he stopped.
Well, they're just trying to find different ways to get him the ball. You know, they were so successful with that screen pass at the beginning of the game, I kind of thought they'd go back to that again.
2nd down and 6 after a 3-yard gain. Clock moving, 46 seconds. Neither team showing any indication that it wants to stop the clock at this point. So Gloucester, with a strong second quarter, has pulled out to a 21-0 lead in this one. Now Revere goes to the line of scrimmage, and they go back into the huddle. Now they'll go back to the line of scrimmage. Eddie Bello in the backfield with the quarterback. 2 receivers to the left, the man in motion. Rivera drops the ball. Fight for it at the 35, covered up by Sullivan. And the clock will run out.
Covering up the ball at the Sullivan. Looks like that's going to do it for these.
6 seconds, clock moving.
So at the end of the first half.
And that will do it. As Phil Brody has got the clock upstairs here, he's the official timekeeper. And at the end of one half here at Newell Stadium in Gloucester, it is the Fishermen leading the Patriots by a score of 21-0. We'll take a break and come back with some halftime stats and chat in just a minute.
Hi folks, this is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber. If you're replacing the windows in your home, please see the Anderson 400 series windows on display at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or Plastown, New Hampshire. The Anderson 400 is attractive, durable, energy efficient, and reasonably priced. Remember, Anderson is the most trusted name in windows. See the Anderson 400 at any of our 3 locations. That's North Reading, Beverly, or Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
Harrington's Trophy and Awards has been rewarding the North Shore for over 25 years. Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington.
And I am Marty Harrington, and we are known for our local family business, providing custom trophies, plaques, screen printing, embroidery, and much more. We offer a variety of services such as engraving wedding gifts, medals for charity walks, youth sports trophies and uniforms. From the newest style performance wear to your everyday work shirts, we are your one-stop shop. Whether it's a fantasy football, warm-up suits for your team, end-of-the-year banquet gifts, or recognizing excellence, we pride our business on our exceptional customer service and quality products. Located in Lynn, or visit our website at harringtontrophy.com.
Gloria Food Store is still Beverly's #1 deli, and no matter what New England weather is thrown at us, Gloria is open. With fresh bread delivered from Sunray Bakery every morning, Gloria can provide party platters, calzones, hot trays, cold trays, salad trays, and finger sandwiches for whatever you have planned. Call in your order at 978-922-3613. Stop in at 268 Rantoul Street or visit GloriaFoodStore.com.
People come in, take a seat. You're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. We'll treat you right, day or night. Satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for two. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Hi, this is Saka Sarkeesian, owner of Sarkeesian Sportswear, located on Route 1 south of Peabody. We are a sports team dealer and custom apparel distributor that can handle all of your team's or company's uniform and apparel needs. So stop by and visit us at 182 Newbury Street in Peabody to see our storefront. Visit with our friendly and helpful staff and let us help you get the right fit for your program. Also, you can visit our website, SarkeesianSports.com, to view our monthly specials and learn more about us.
All right, we're back at the half. What'd you have, Nick? Can you use those so we can... Thanks, Coach. All right, Nick Kukru is going to come in here and give Coach Ingram a break here while we go over some stats and look at stuff, and then we'll bring Coach back, maybe give us some analysis of this thing. But what a weird game. I know. Revere starting off like they were just going to blow downfield.
It's true. I feel like that's a theme. Just strange games that Gloucester's played in this season. You don't know what the game's going to be like. Though they've been pretty consistent the last couple weeks, but first 13 minutes of the game, one drive each, and now Gloucester's got 3 touchdowns.
So Nick Kukru is with us now. He's the Gloucester Times Sports editor. And what'd you say you had? How many? What was?
I had him at 58 yards.
Sullivan
8 of 13.
8 of 13. I got 56. So 8 of 13 for 58. And the team total is 44. So they've lost 14 yards running. So that's not a good sign.
Couple fumbles, couple losses of yards. Yeah, they got away. I thought Revere got away from what was working. They were, doing a nice job hitting those curl flat combinations, and then they just kind of stopped doing it. And they didn't need to after that first drive. They were only down 6-0, but now the floodgates have opened, and Revere's, they're going to have to open it up a bit.
Well, I got San Filippo 14 carries for 155 yards.
Yeah, I got him 158. So we'll
go 158 then. Okay.
I'm a little more generous, I guess.
No, I can't see. I don't know. Half the time, I don't know who's carrying the ball.
Yeah, but if you get 10 people would have different yardages. We're all in 5 yards, you're good.
Now, earlier today, Gloucester Soccer won, I believe, 2-0. Who'd they play?
Yeah, Lynn English. That was a big win for the boys. They have to sneak out a few wins over the NEC Large, and it was a very evenly played game, I thought. And Gloucester, Thiago da Silva just buried two chances, and that was the difference. Bevan Worrell made a few huge saves and goal in the second half, so that was a huge win for them. They're back to 500 at 4-4-1, so they needed that. You can't get swept by the NEC Large if you're an NEC small team. So that was an enormous win.
Now I understand too that Coach Lauren Riley. What's Coach's married name? Lauren Riley.
Oh, I didn't even know she was married.
Coach Riley?
If she's married, it's Gove.
Coach Gove. That's right. I should know that. I know the Gove. Anyway, Coach Gove, the field hockey coach, who is due any minute now with her second child, lost a tough one. Danvers pulled out a 1-0 win in field hockey, knocking Gloucester out of the.
Tough for her. She's about to give birth, and she has her two most nerve-wracking games of the season back to back. Danvers knocked them off for the first time, their first loss, and then a 1-1 tie with Marblehead, which was an outstanding game on Tuesday night. Just the two titans of the conference.
And Gloucester's given up
two goals all season. Yeah, I did the math. They started off the season with a 317 plus minute shutout streak.
Wow.
So they're a titan. They're going to be a team to watch out for once the postseason comes around as well in Division 2 North.
Well, going around the Cape Ann, bring us up to speed again on Manchester Essex and Rockport and other sports.
Manchester Essex, I think the teams to look out for, field hockey as always, is undefeated, so they'll be right there. I'd love to see them in Gloucester play. I noticed they both beat Bishop Fenwick by a goal, so I feel like that'd be a great matchup, battle of Cape Ann teams, but odds are long for that matchup, but we can hope. And boys soccer at Manchester Essex is just is pretty nasty this season. They're 7-0-1. They just beat North Reading. They tied Pentucket, so you're for real when you're going into that Cal Kinney division, the Cal Large, and pulling out wins, and that's exactly what the Hornets are doing. They have Marco Copper in net. He's probably the best goalie on the North Shore, one of the best goalies in the entire state, and they can score.
An interesting matchup, back to football for a second today. Hamilton Wenham and Manchester Essex.
Yeah, that game got broken open a bit. Hamilton Wenham's up 28-7 late in the half last I saw. I don't know what happened. I got an update that said 14-7, and then I see Hamilton Wenham's athletic director literally a minute later tweet out 28-7. So something happened that really broke that game wide open. That's one that Manchester Essex needs to. It's unfortunate. I feel like if Manchester Essex gets into the Division 4 tournament, they're a player. But the problem is the Cape Ann League Baker division's looking pretty good this season. I know the team that usually dominates at Linfield is a little down, but everyone else is up. So it's a tough road. It's too bad. I kind of wish they go back into the Commonwealth and we'd see them play against schools their own size, because it's kind of too bad. They've had some very good teams over the years that could have done some damage that didn't get the chance because they're playing Amesbury, Ipswich, Hamilton, Wenham, Linfield.
And Ipswich is playing Linfield tonight. And that should be an interesting game.
Yeah, I picked Ipswich. I was one of the few. So
they're playing well.
I need a comeback. I didn't do very well in my predictions last week, so I need to get hit on a couple of those upsets.
Yeah, we talked with Newburyport coach Mike Levine. He's had a couple of really big wins so far this season as well, and they've got they're at Pentucket tomorrow.
Pentucket's a solid team as well.
All right, so I know that you're busy here. Let's go up to Rockport very quickly, and then I got to get Coach Ingram back in here.
Rockport's kind of struggling a bit in the early going. I don't think any of their teams are above 500. The golf team's right at 4-4. Girls soccer though is much improved. I think that their record doesn't show it. I think they're 2-5-2. But they didn't win a game last season, and they have been right within a goal or two from everybody. I think they got blown out once by Linfield, and that's it. They've been right with everybody else. So that's great to see over there in Rockport. And boys soccer has been a little... They're struggling a bit. They have, again, been competitive with everybody, as they always are. Yeah. But I think they're 2-5-1 on the season, so they got a little work to do coming up in the second half as well.
Finally, if we get a champion out of the Northeastern Conference in the playoffs, they will be playing at Foxborough, right? They'll be playing at Gillette.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Some reason the MIA decided that the best game, Division 1, doesn't need to be at Gillette.
That's weird. Yeah, I saw that. That was strange. Division 1 and Division 4, I guess, right? Very strange.
So we'll see. Hopefully the NEC can get it going this year, get into the Super Bowl for the first time since this new system.
My man, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your stats.
Absolutely.
And for your help last week, too. I will have a little gift certificate down the road. We'll get you one from Sylvan Street Grill. And meantime, at the half, we're going to bring Coach Ingram back here in a second. At the half, the score is 21-0. We'll take a quick break and come back with some stats for you, as Gloucester is leading Revere in this one. This game is coming to you from New Balance Field at Newell Stadium on MSONEWSports.com.
The Gloucester House Restaurant at historic Seven Seas Wharf, 63 Roger Street, Gloucester. This is owner Lenny Linquata.
We provide service and product better than anybody else. It comes directly from our boats right to your plate. We have fishermen that work great for us. We are wholesalers that we buy what we want to serve to our customers, and we put the rest of it right out in the market.
The Gloucester House Restaurant. Visit thegloucesterhouse.com.
This is the freshest seafood you can get from our boats to your plate.
People come in, take a seat. You're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. We treat you right, day or night. Satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for two. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
All right, we're back at halftime here at Newell Stadium. I'm Rick Moore, along with Paul Ingram, our producer and engineer Bill Proposki. And Coach, before we get back to this game, you've played a lot of golf this summer, and you were in a tournament last year. You keeping up with the Ryder Cup at all? Because I guess
well, I watched part of it today.
Yeah,
that's pretty exciting, actually. You know, and those guys really get into it. They seem to show more emotion in that format than they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people must have seen it. I guess a couple of guys on the tour were trying to make a 14-foot putt, and the guy...
They were heckling him, and is that the
right,
one?
and they said, I can make that, so they put $100
put your money
where the ball, and the guy made the putt.
I know a heckler, Mike Lynch had it on. He said the guy was a heckler, and he made it. That's kind of... I guess the USA did pretty good this morning. I don't know how they did in the afternoon.
I think this afternoon they didn't do as well. I think, yeah. Rick, before we go on, I looked at the Gloucester Times today, and they had a nice article about Mark Bavaro getting in the Hall of Fame, and I would been around Mark and watched Mark. He certainly, I believe, deserves to be in there. He was just an all-around great tight end, and blocking and receiving and running with the ball and playing under. He had a broken jaw. He finished the game, and if they could call, I think it's Ron Borges of the Herald, and I think he has some say in it. It'd be appreciated. He played 9 years, and they said that wasn't. It seems like that's a long time to last in the NFL, but that might be one of his shortcomings. But boy, what a career he had there, and I know Bill Parcells believes he should be in it.
He was a prototype too, wasn't he, Paul? Because he wasn't the typical tight end at that time.
Well, I mean, there's different types of tight ends. If you look now, there's that what they call the H-back tight end, where he really doesn't block. He's near the line of scrimmage. He lines up. He usually stands up, and they throw him some routes. And then you have the guy Gronkowski is unusual, but he can block. But Bavaro did it all. He's probably one of the best blocking tight ends ever, and he certainly could do the other things just as well. And you just don't get enough credit for the blocking. But that's why they were so successful. The Giants were with the Super Bowls and Parcell.
From what I understand too, Paul, Mark Bavaro is a man of real character. A lot of character.
Yeah. He certainly he was I believe a Christian athlete too, and very religious player. And I know that if he didn't have something to say, he didn't say anything, and he more or less really liked to talk about his family rather than to talk about football. And I know he really had a great relationship with his dad and his grandfather. And
all right, so we have to mobilize and call Ron Borges. Is that the idea? And email him and just bombard him and say we want him in?
This guy belongs in the
absolutely
fame. And we're so stuck on stats of catches, but where all the dirty work is done is down in there, and that's where he excelled also.
Well, I know Mark Bedrosian, a former player for you, who's a neighbor of mine, and he's an educator and an administrator, and put together a packet a while back. And Bavaro's stats, even though he played 9 years, they match up with Hall of Fame tight ends who played a lot longer.
Yes, they do. If you go on YouTube and call up Mark's name. They show an interview with Steve Sable and all the highlights. And some of it's funny because Steve Sable even has trouble getting Mark to say a few things, say a few words. But once Mark got into his family, he was great. But it shows the highlights that he had and how Parcells felt about him. So I recommend taking a look at that. It's about 15 minutes long.
So the Pee-wees are done, and Coach, you look out in the harbor straight ahead there between the houses, and we see the cruise ship. I forget what it's called.
Beauport Princess.
Beauport Princess, and it's a dinner boat, and they call it a cruise ship. It's a small cruise ship, but a big boat, and it's lit up with several decks of lights, and it's just an amazing scene here. Even with the light rain, the rain seems to have abated quite a bit. It's still coming down, but not. It's very light. Well, we're waiting for the second half to get underway. Gloucester has returned to the field, and I think if you can cut this game down to a quick summary, it is Gloucester's running game and Gloucester's defense. Christian Sanfilippo with 3 touchdowns, runs of 13, 45, and 33 yards in the second quarter, 14 carries, 155 yards. Gloucester's total offense 204. Total offense for Revere 44. Minus 14 on the ground.
Well, it probably, from what we've seen, Gloucester can't run the ball up the middle. And Revere, probably came in saying, well, we're going to stop that. But obviously, when you stop one thing, you give up something else. And Gloucester has just kind of said, well, we're not going to bother to run up the middle. We're going to run the sweep to the outside and the off tackle. And it's a tough play to stop. If the players are executing and you have a back of the caliber of Sanfilippo, I mean, it's really, you can see the yardage he's gaining.
And he's an interesting runner in that he runs tough at the line of scrimmage, but then he can get that extra gear and move out. So dangerous runner. He's and I talk about it almost every game. I love the way he broke into the lineup last year. He was not a starter, and he just was so impressive whenever he went into the game that he ended up being a starter from the game number 3 on.
Yeah, I think they saw in practice that he had real skills, and what tells me, I obviously don't go to practice, but he must have really worked hard in practice, and they gave him the opportunity in the game, and they saw they had something special there. So hopefully he'll stay healthy, and I know he's got a little banged up, but it doesn't seem to bother him tonight.
Well, all the scoring in the second quarter. Christian Sanfilippo with those 3 scores, and we're leading. Gloucester is leading 21-0. We're awaiting the start of the second half as both teams have returned to the field now. Revere on that far sideline.
Well, just give me a ticket, I'll take it.
And Gloucester will be receiving the ball to start this second half. Over on Channel A, it's Danvers at Lynn Classical. Tomorrow on MSONEWSports, we'll have Lynn English at Beverly. That game will be a 2:30 start with Marty Smith and Tim Kearns. Next week, one of our games will be Lynn Classical at Peabody. And the second game, I believe, will be at Lynn English. That's a TBA. We'll fill that in for you. Well, Gloucester is they're in position. They're ready to get the ball. Revere has not come onto the field yet. Getting some last-minute instructions from Coach Ciccatelli and his staff. Back deep is Cameron for Gloucester. Back at his 10-yard line. Got a light rain, heavy mist, whatever you want to call it here in Gloucester. Not a huge crowd, a lot of umbrellas here. And now we're ready to get this second half started. 21-0, Gloucester leading. They will face Winthrop next week, and Revere will be hosting Saugus at Della Russo Stadium.
Gloucester has quite a few skilled players right in that front line, probably anticipating an onside kick.
Well, we saw that squib kick in the first half. This is a long kick. Cameron fields it at it's Smith at the 10 to the 15, 20, and out of bounds close to the 30. I think it's Smith given the size, but I didn't catch the number.
Gloucester will take over first through 10 on their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, it's Smith. So Mark Smith with the return. And Gloucester will take over first and 10 after the kickoff from their own 30. Where do they put it? Right at the 32 to start this second half. Chris Hernandez, the guards. Ryan Gabriel, Kevin Gabriel, the tackles. And you see that massive line for Revere on defense. But the end around is Sanfilippo. And there's his second effort in his strength. He was stopped at the 40 and still got another 1 or 2 yards.
Well, that's that play where Gloucester went unbalanced. To the right, they have guard, tackle, tight end. Then they have a wing back. Then they have the split end. And what happens is they just out-leverage the defense. So when you go unbalanced, you kind of have to make the defense move. And if they don't move, you get good angles, at least on your blocking.
Sanfilippo gets the first down with a 10-yard gain. And it's first and 10, Gloucester at their 42. First play from scrimmage in the second half. Play action, Young underneath. It's complete to Edward at the 50. And I think he's got a first down across the... No, they're going to put him out of bounds at the 50. So Jermaine Edward into the game for the second time. Catches the pass and gets it to the 50. 8-yard gain. Gloucester right back to the line of scrimmage. No huddle. And again, Revere changing up on defense. Inside handoff.
He's tried to trap again. Oh, they're saying they got the ball.
Fumble. I think Revere has it. Yeah, and they do. So Gloucester turns it over, and Revere will take over at their own 49-yard line.
Well, that's one thing Revere has certainly done very well is stop the trap. And I think that was Edward carrying the ball.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he was in there. And
well, big break for Revere, and they need to capitalize. They need to get on the board, and they've got a good chance here now at their own 49-yard line inside the 10-minute mark, second half. Ed Sullivan is the quarterback. Frank Sims, the center. Gianni Hill, Anthony DiStefano are the guards. Tackles Devin Matthias, Julio Paris Rodriguez are the tackles. Edward is in the shotgun, fires it out the right side, and it is caught low catch by Lopez. Looked like he bounced it, but he caught it, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Nice tackle by Smith.
Oscar Lopez is that wide out. And let's see. That is the ninth completion. Ninth completion for 58 yards for quarterback Sullivan. He's got Eddie Ballo in the backfield with him. The other receivers, John DeSimone and Bader Hayo. Empty backfield for Sullivan. About 6 yards off the line of scrimmage with 3 receivers right, 1 left. Fires it to the right. It is complete. And a couple of yard gain. I think it's Lopez.
Appears that Gloucester's just playing 4 deep.
It's DeSimone with the catch, sorry.
They're just trying to prevent the long pass and probably just pass rush with their 3 down linemen, and the outside linebackers or defensive ends are playing the short pass.
Well, it's a 2-yard gain. Second down and 8 for Revere. 9 minutes to go, third quarter. This time 3 receivers on the left side, 2 on the right, empty backfield. Ball just over midfield. Sullivan is going to roll to his left, throw it under. Well, it's intended for Lopez at the 40, but it's incomplete. Just a little bit underthrown. Oh, it's a 4th down. I misread the sideline there. It's 4th down now. That was a 3rd down pass. And again, Paul, I've asked you before, but rolling a quarterback who's right-handed rolling to his left, passing the ball, a little bit more difficult than going the other way.
Yeah, but you can't just always throw to your right either. So usually, the wide side of the field is the way you try to go.
All right, so here is a really good punt that's going to hit at the 20 and bounced at the 15, picked up there by Cameron. He jukes, and we've got penalties. This will be on Gloucester. As he returns it, does Cameron to the 26. But this is going to go back deep in the Gloucester side of the field after the punt. Well, what I meant was, I know throwing to the left is one thing, but running to the left on the run.
Yeah. Actually, I played quarterback, and I always liked throwing to my left when I'm stationary. I felt like I had a better shoulder turn. But when you're right, when you're running that way, you can't get that shoulder turn, so you don't get as much power on it.
So to have to put your body into it a little bit. So it's going to go back to the 17. Gloucester will start from their own 17 after the penalty. Ball on the near hash mark. They're moving toward the canal are the Fishermen. Second possession of this game. Sweep to the right. Nope, sorry. I got faked out. Run play that got nothing.
Yeah, they fake the jet and then give the ball to the fullback. Boy, they've really done a great job stuffing the middle.
I don't know who the fullback is. Can't see it from here. But the important part is that it's 2nd and 10 as Revere is held. Again, nothing up the middle for Gloucester.
Well, here they go unbalanced again. So,
and this will be a pitch to the left. San Filippo trying to sweep to the left. Tackle from behind after about a 5-yard gain.
Ball in the first down, and they're coming up with oddball formations that outflank the defense. And Revere's not recognizing it, so Gloucester's got great blocking angles.
3rd down, 5 to go for Gloucester. 16th carry for San Filippo. He's up to 170 yards right now, and 3 touchdowns. 3rd and 5, Gloucester. 7:26 in the third. The Fishermen leading 21-0. And this will be a sweep to the right this time. Smith puts the brakes on. He's going to be buried for maybe a 1-yard gain. And Revere has held on defense. 2 good stops now in this second half for Revere. As they took the ball away on their last possession, and this time they stopped Gloucester on downs. They're going to give Smith 1 yard. So it'll be 4th down and 4. And the Fishermen will have to punt, of course. That's 5 yards total, that's it. So Gloucester will punt, and it's a good high punt. Looks like it's by Edward. He does punt. Lopez is chasing it down at his 40. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to return it to the 45. And there are penalty markers on that far sideline. I'm not even going to hazard a guess on that one.
Well, right in front of the official.
Yep. Lopez waited and waited and waited, then picked it up. Returned it about 5 yards. But penalty marker thrown right there as he picked it up. Blocking the back against Revere. And I don't know if you can see on the video, see the cruise ship out there, the dinner ship, but quite a sight. Looks like it's up in the air. Looks like it's flying. As remember, the Gloucester football field is below sea level. Ball will go back to the 31 of Revere. And again, our game officials, Don Warner's the referee. Brody on the clock. Thank you for all that information. But Phil he always helps us out. 6:24 left to go. Ball is at the Revere 31-yard line. 1st and 10. Man in motion. 3 receivers to the left. Empty backfield. And he is under pressure. The ball is batted up in the air, and it's incomplete as the ball was thrown into the left flat and knocked up into the air by the Fishermen. And again, that's Jan Pena Ortiz. And again, he is a sophomore, 5'6", 165, and he broke up the play. Good pressure on the quarterback that time as well.
Many moons ago.
2nd down and 10, 6:19. Clock stopped, of course, with the incompletion. Revere moving from right to left this second half to open the second half. Running away from the canal. Fake counter play. Gives it to the other running back, and there's no gain.
Taken down by number 52, Damian Brown. And number 3.
They're getting what's called formation specific. In other words, out of certain formations, they run certain plays. And after a while, the kids catch on the defense. When they're lined up like this is coming.
Well, that was either Rivera or Bello. I'm not sure which one it was. Ball is back at the 29. So it's a loss
Still
of 2.
like to see that screen pass back.
Well, Revere's heading back towards 0 yardage, total yardage for the game. They need to get clicking here. And they've scored in games past, just having a tough time tonight. Again, rolling to his left. Quarterback is going to be intercepted by Nate Young at the 37. Returns it to the 35, to the 30, and downed at the 24-yard line. Young just got in the passing lane, jumped up and grabbed it and brought it back.
Well, Sullivan looked where he's going to throw the whole way. One of the things you learn at quarterback is you have to just at least look straight down the field to hold the safety.
If you're at 25-yard line, the Fishermen will take over 1st and 10.
So Nate Young gets the ball to the Revere 25, where Gloucester will start with the short field, 5:18 left, and leading 21-0. So ball is on the near hash mark. Fishermen heading toward the canal. 5:18 left to go. Third quarter. Gloucester with, I believe, just 1 first down in this half. All right, sweep to the left. Smith trying to cut it outside, following a block, but he's going to be upended for about a 1-yard gain. Nice defensive play. Give me that number. Is that DeSimone?
It's a safety.
Yeah, I'm trying to
2,
see.
I believe.
Is it 2 or 8? Boy, I can't tell from here. You can see. I think it's number 8. But I can't.
That's what you call closing speed, because he came from safety, and
it can't be 8 because he's not on the roster here. So it's no gain. Looked like it was going to be a substantial gain for Gloucester, but a good defensive play by who shall not be named, because I can't see his number, but you can on the screen. No gain. 2nd and 10, Gloucester at the Revere 25 on that far hash mark. Young wants to pass, loops it over the middle. 2 receivers in the same spot, overthrown. Intended at the 5-yard line.
Well, you were right there, Rick. I mean, right side by side, the 2 receivers.
Going to bring about a 3rd and 10 for the Fishermen.
So, with a golden opportunity to maybe salt this thing away, it's 3rd down now and 10 for Gloucester at the Revere 25 after the second Nate Young interception. And I mean, he's done that on defense. He's the Gloucester quarterback. He has not thrown the interceptions, but he's grabbed a couple in the other direction. 3rd down and 10. 2 running backs in the backfield behind Nate Young. 3rd and 10, I should say, for Gloucester. Sweep to the right. Smith again. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's going to get to the 15, to the 10, cuts it back inside, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Gloucester. So Smith comes back the other way this time and gets the touchdown. I don't see any flags.
Yeah, I believe there is.
Is there? Because everybody's spread all. Yep, there is. Yep, another chop block on Gloucester.
Another block all the ways.
Yep.
Against Gloucester.
So bring it back. And this will be all the way back to the 40. 15-yard loss on the
40-yard line.
penalty.
Gloucester will have a 3rd and 25.
So Gloucester is at the 40. They need to get it to the 15 on this 3rd down play with the clock rolling, 4:10 left to go. Leading 21-0. It looked as though Smith had gone in, but nope. Bring it back with a penalty.
Sometimes you run the same play just in the other direction, but not with this alignment. It won't happen.
All right, so it's 3rd down, and who's taking the timeout?
So we had a timeout on the
Gloucester.
field. Timeout Gloucester.
So that's the first of the second half, of course, for either team. And again, we got a game coming up tomorrow on MSO. It'll be radio only, Lynn English at Beverly. That will be a 2:30 game. We'll have a bunch of scores and, of course, interviews and so on from tonight's games. And North Shore Sports Night on Monday, we'll talk about this and some other stuff. And Nick Kukuru confirmed that if we get a winner out of the Northeastern Conference, that team will be going to Gillette this year, as the Division 1 and Division 4 winners will not. Those are the teams, the conferences or leagues or whatever they're called, that won't be going. Divisions. 3rd down for the Fishermen at their own 40. Excuse me, at Revere 40. Man in motion. Young drops the ball, covers it up, and it's back at the 43. Now, with this kind of a lead, Paul, do you punt, or what do you do on 4th down?
I would punt, and I think Gloucester's going to. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of time left, and like my college coach said, win the game in the safest possible way.
27.
Well, both teams going backwards in this half. 17 yards net loss on that possession for Gloucester. So they now have 129 yards of offense after getting it up to...
Chris.
I'm sorry. That's wrong. It's a punt, muffed at the 10, and buried right there. Oh my. DeSimone had trouble fielding it. He did pick it up and he got clobbered after that. Although, I'm sorry, it looks like it's number 15, not 11. So that would be Jim Cayuses. He's a junior, and that puts Revere way back inside their own real estate, just short of the 10. Call it the 10 with 3:03 left to go. So let me give you the yardage again. Gloucester had gotten up to 210 yards of total offense, and now they're back down to 193. Revere, meanwhile, is at 44 yards total. And the quarterback has thrown for 60 in the air. So here's a run play going around the right side. It's Rivera. He's got yardage. Look out, he may go. 30, 40, 50. Cuts it back inside. Young is not going to get him. 30, or is he? 20. Goes diagonally. Young still after him and gets him at the 5. What a run by Rivera. He probably ran 150 yards going from right to left, and Young caught up to him.
That was quite a play by Nate Young.
My goodness. He didn't give up on it.
No, and it showed his speed.
And Rivera broke that thing for huge yardage to the Gloucester 5. I believe that's an 85-yard run. It is.
Well, that was a jet play that Gloucester's been running, and certainly you want to get that kid out in space with the ball, and that certainly did it.
Well, that's just what Revere needs, too.
That was a great play by Nate Young because he
got faked out there.
Well, what happens is they over on the other sideline, Young's coming in, and the ball carrier will break to what's called his weak shoulder, which is his back shoulder. And usually it spun Nate Young around, but he still caught him in the end. So.
Which is amazing. Well, here's a run play. I think the quarterback keeper, nothing. So it'll be 2nd and goal for Revere. And they put it at the 4 1-yard gain. 2nd and goal. And this is what Revere needs. They need to get into the end zone, and they'll get some life out of that, certainly. An 85-yard run. If you put it together, you get Young. An 85-yard, but it was stopped by Nate Young. And kind of an amazing play because you're right, Paul. He had to shift directions, and he was caught, I don't want to say flat-footed, but he lost a step and then picked it up again.
Right.
And going again diagonally across the width of the field.
It's probably be this jet play again.
All right, so here's Sullivan at quarterback, under center. Man in motion is Rivera. He gets the handoff and gets it to about the 2.
Down the Gloucester 1-yard line.
Well, yep, it is just inside the 2.
Petrilli's out again. He had trouble with his arm before, and now it's...
Yeah, favoring that right. It's all wrapped up, too. Anyway, it is 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line, inside the 1-minute mark. Revere knocking on the door to get on that scoreboard. Run play to the tailback, up the middle, and I don't think he got it. That would have been Rivera.
Have a 4th and about half a yard.
He didn't get it. Now it's 4th and goal. And somebody takes a timeout. Who is it? It is Gloucester. Gloucester takes the timeout. It's their 2nd.
One of the things that always bothered me, Rick, is that you're on the 1-foot line, and everybody's all 22 players are all in a bundle, and you got the officials out at the end by the sidelines. And how do you really tell if they made it across? I always felt they should move in at least when all 22 are in a bunch.
Well, that's a good point. Never thought of that. And I would think that these guys are, the officials are athletic enough to, if it comes your way, you'd be able to get out of the way with that kind of space.
I don't know about that either.
Oh, jeez. You're nasty tonight. Well, I ain't going to complain. We're down to 37.7 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Revere with a 4th and goal. They've got to get this ball in the end zone. Let's see what Coach Ciccatelli dialed up. All right, so we've got one running back behind the quarterback who is under center. There your officials wide, as you say. And it's a keeper.
Keep up the middle.
And we're waiting for a sign.
Not sure where he's.
We're waiting for a sign. It is a touchdown. So Sullivan scores. Revere's on the scoreboard. It's now 21-6, and that's a shot in the arm for Revere. They needed that.
Keep up the middle.
I know.
Gets on the board.
So 5 plays, 90 yards, and it was set up by a terrific 85-yard run by Victor Rivera, and Revere takes a timeout. That's their first of the half. Looks like it's raining quite a bit now.
Well, this has been their nemesis of getting extra points.
21-6. We're in the third with 30 seconds left to go in the third. Gloucester leading it, but Revere just getting on the scoreboard. On the keeper by Sullivan. 1 yard up the middle. After that terrific 85-yard run by Rivera. And an amazing stay-with-it type tackle by Nate Young. Stick-to-itiveness, I guess you call that. Nate Young with 2 interceptions as well as a defensive back. So they'll try the single point after.
Number 81.
Bader Hayu is the kicker. Bad snap. And Hayu, the kick is blocked. Whistles blow, and we're going to blow this thing up. See what happens here. We have motion against Revere. So they're going to blow the play dead, I guess. And we'll have another opportunity. The ball moves out to the, where is that, Paul, at the 8?
Well, there's so many lines in the field.
I know. Looks like it's at the
It has to be, because it's at the 3 for the extra points. So that should be the 8.
Okay. All right, so we're going to try it again. And again, it's Bader Hayu, who is the kicker. He's 6'2", 190. He's a sophomore. Several sophomores playing and contributing for Revere. This time it's a good snap, and it's blocked partially, and it goes to the left, and it's no good. Score remains 21-6. Gloucester leading it.
Point after attempt is incomplete.
But Victor Rivera injecting some life into the offense for Revere, and that's their first real flurry since the first possession of the night, and gets them up over 100 yards now, total offense. They're up to 134 yards, and the score is 21-6. Scoring plays again, Christian Sanfilippo, 3 touchdowns in that second quarter, 13 yards, 45 yards, and 33 yards for Gloucester. And now, here, after a 5-play, 90-yard touchdown march, punctuated by that 85-yard gain, with 30 seconds left to go in this third quarter, Revere is on the scoreboard, down 21-6. And Gloucester with the all-hands team again, Paul.
Yeah, just so hard to get an onside kick. I don't know if Revere will, there's plenty of time in the game. If they give the Gloucester the ball right there, it's a short field for Gloucester. I'd kick it deep.
So Bader Hayu is the kicker. And he's good size. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 190. Oh, it's it's a short kick, end over end. Smith gets it at his own 20 on the far sideline. Returns to the 30, to the 40, and out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
41-yard line.
So 23 seconds left to go.
Brian Argentino.
And
So Gloucester will start on
ball is at the 41.
First and 10.
Gloucester starts at their own 41, and they had to punt on the most recent possession. Sullivan scoring the touchdown. Now, running into the Gloucester huddle is Argentino. And leading them out of the huddle is Chris Cassateri. 1st and 10 for Nate Young. Stuffs it into the belly of a running back, cuts it around the right corner, does a somersault, and may have the first down. I think we have a face mask on that. And that is Sanfilippo.
Sanfilippo, the ball carrier, big on about 10 of the play.
Gets the first down, and I think we'll tack on some more yardage after. Yeah, it is a face mask.
Face mask against Revere.
So I got it to the 50. 9-yard gain. And they're going to put 15 more up on that.
Move Gloucester well into the Revere territory.
So Sanfilippo, 17 carries, 185 yards, check it, 179 yards. Of the total fishermen, 202. But with the penalty, the ball goes to the 34, almost to 33. So that's a 17-yard penalty, and that will end the third quarter. So after 3, Gloucester leads it over Revere by a score of 21-6. Game coming to you from Newell Stadium in Gloucester. We'll be back for the fourth quarter right after this.
Score early and often this fall with a low-rate residential loan from the Institution for Savings. The Institution for Savings has fantastic rates, low or no fees, great service, and prompt turnaround. Plus, we service our mortgages in-house, so help is always a local phone call away. For more information or to apply online 24/7, visit institutionforsavingsloans.com or call us at 978-462-2344. Institution for Savings, member FDIC and DIF, equal housing lender.
People come in, take a seat. You're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. We'll treat you right, day or night. Satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for 2. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Well, the teams came right back on the switch of possession, and Sanfilippo on the handoff, first play of the fourth quarter, runs 33 yards for his 4th touchdown of the day, and Gloucester extends their lead to 27-6. So Sanfilippo now with another 33 yards, so he has 18 carries and 211 yards. And Gloucester misses the point after.
Point after attempt failed.
Score remains 27-6.
Gloucester 27, Revere 26.
And maybe you can recap the play, Paul, that we missed while we were out.
Well, it was the basic sweep is actually the same play as he ran that they got the face mask penalty. It's just a sweep to the right. You know, like I said before, they're doing a great job of stuffing the middle for the fullback trap. But you're good enough that he can break a couple tackles on his own too and run away from the defense. So,
well, let's see. At another 60 yards, we've got 253 yards for Gloucester right now. Sanfilippo, with 10:51 left to go, gets the score up to 27-6. His 4th touchdown of the day. 18 carries, 211 yards for Sanfilippo. And it's 27-6 on that first play of the fourth quarter. This kickoff is high and short. Going to bounce out of bounds. Did that hit a Revere player also?
No.
No? Looked like it might hit a lineman's leg, but it's another out of bounds kickoff.
Revere 14-yard line.
And if there's a light rain, you can't see it right now. It's not too bad.
So Revere will start off.
So they'll take it on the out of bounds, and they'll start at their own 30. Revere scoring on its most recent possession, but Sanfilippo countering that with a 33-yard touchdown run of his own. 10:51 now left to go. The Patriots start at their own 30-yard line. And again, their only score came after a big run by Rivera Nate Young on the keeper on a 4th down play. Not Nate Young. Ed Sullivan. Sullivan under center. Handoff to Rivera. Cuts it outside, turning the corner, and gets the first down to the 40, I think, unless he went out of bounds before that.
Gloucester knows it's coming because that formation, that's the only play they've run. And
The ball came loose over there.
he still is making yardage.
They're going to go 8 on the play down to the
All right, it is out of bounds at the 38, so it is an 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And Rivera over 100 yards for Revere.
That long run by Rivera, and you see what Nate Young did. You always kind of watch to see which kids never give up. You know, and it's interesting. It talks a lot about their character. And
we saw that a couple of years ago several times for Gloucester on plays like that, and they ended up getting the ball on a fumble. Well, here's a first down run for Revere right up the middle.
6 on the play
And
by number
see who the ball carrier is.
Number 28, Matthew Bitteau.
Yeah, Matthew Brito, you're right. Junior, 5'9", 160, gets the first down. Number 28 on your program. Nice run up the middle. It's at the 43 on the 15-yard gain. No, I'm sorry, the 5-yard gain. Can't add here. 5-yard gain, but it's 1st and 10, Revere. They need to get some more points down, 27-6. Ed Sullivan continues under center, loses the ball. It's on the ground. And I think Revere has it. Nope, Gloucester has it. Gloucester has it, and they've got it way back at the Revere 33. Oh my.
well, he went. He was under center, went to straight drop back pass, and I know Gloucester plays a man over the center, and it looked like he missed him, and he was there just as he went to throw.
So it is first down for Gloucester, and that's a killer for Revere. Ball is at the Revere 33-yard line with 9:27 left to go in the game, and the Fishermen up by 21 points at this juncture. Ball midway between the hash marks. Fishermen moving from right to left, and we'll have a penalty against Gloucester for procedure, I think, unless somebody called a timeout. Let's see. Nope, they're just going to call a play.
They've taken Sanfilippo out of the game.
Timeout or what?
It's like a legal substitution against Revere.
Well, we're waiting to see what's going on. Yeah, Gloucester taking out a number of its starters, Coach, as you point out. All right, the ball goes down to the 26 after the penalty.
On the Revere 27-yard line.
And it is 1st and 5 for Gloucester at the Revere 26. So here's a run play to Ortiz, going it outside. He gets the first down. Second effort, he keeps going and going like the bunny rabbit there, and he's down inside the 10. So big first down run for Jan Pena Ortiz.
First and goal from the Revere.
And they get it to this. Yep, it's going to be right at the 5. 21-yard gain for Pena Ortiz. Clock still moving. 1st and goal. Sanfilippo out of the game with 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. Run play, counter play. Oh, it's going to be kept by the quarterback, and he's going to be dropped for a loss.
I think that's Matt Smith.
Okay.
At quarterback. Well, what happened on the play before, he handed it off, and he had a good fake out here, and there was no one around him. So I think they told him just to keep the ball. Fortunately, there was someone out here this time.
Ball's back at the 10. It's 2nd and goal from the 10. 7:54 with the clock running, and number 13 is your quarterback, and that is Matt Smith,
Great job by Nate Young.
as opposed to Mark Smith. Matt hands off, run play, left side. Pena Ortiz goes down near the goal line, and he falls into the end zone for another Gloucester touchdown. And now they're up 33-6. Pena Ortiz gets on the scoreboard. So Jan Pena Ortiz, I don't know if it's Jan or Jan, but that's a 10-yard run. Sweep to the left.
Into the Gloucester TD. 10-yard run.
And score increases to 33-6 for Gloucester. That's 3 play and 33 more yards. 7:35 left to go in the game. And they're just padding their stats right now. 286 yards of offense. And they get the point after this time, Rivera, and that makes it 34-6.
So, 7:35 left to go in the game.
Well, Paul, you mentioned the play by Young, and it you know, if you're a Revere fan, it seems to take a little bit away. We're talking about Nate Young of the play of Rivera, which was a spectacular run. But on the other hand, as you say, you know, it looked to me like he was caught flat-footed. Young was about from 20, but he went diagonally, stayed with it, and that does tell you something about never giving up on a play, even though, you know, you tackle a kid at the 5-yard line, but still,
you never know.
You prevented him from going to the end zone.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen. Your defense may stiffen up, and they still may not get in. So, you know, it's those kids that just have that attitude that no matter what the situation is, they're going to play as hard as they can.
There was a Patriot tight end who did that once on an interception, and he ran 80 or 90 yards, and I forget, it wasn't Ben Coates,
right,
but
no. Watson, was it Watson?
Yeah, Ben Watson, that's who it was, yep. That was a remarkable play. Never giving up. Well, 34-6. Kickoff to Revere again. It's going to go to the 16 or 17. A lineman has it. Look at him go. And it's returned. Can't stop him. He's not going to go down. And he returns it to the 35-yard line. Oh, big run back by, I think it was DiStefano. Anthony DiStefano is a starter. He's a guard.
Might switch his position.
Yeah, hello. He wasn't going down easy. Gets it to the 35. Nice return by DiStefano. My. So we're in the fourth with 7:19 left to go. And it's 34-6. I'm going to shut this up a little bit. We're hearing all about these people's personal lives in front of us. I don't think we need to anymore. Jeez. Okay. There we go. So we got to close up that window a little bit. All right, where are we? Revere has the ball at their own 35-yard line with 7:19 left to go in this game. And I got in trouble for mentioning substitutes last year at the Revere game. I'm not going to do it this time. We'll just talk about the players who are in there. And kind of a strange game.
We got a timeout on the field.
As you know, it looked initially like Revere was just going to sweep right downfield and go in, but then they stalled and they had the fumble, and that, to coin a phrase, really took the air out of the ball.
Right. Yeah.
And it changed. Everything changed from that point.
Well, I think Gloucester's philosophy, and I think it was last week too, is you know, let them have short passes and see if they can go down the field and score doing that. And most high school teams can't, you know. Just don't give up the big play.
And that's the difference. The big play for Gloucester has been San Filippo, because you go back early on, and you know, Gloucester had a 14-play drive after a 14-play drive by Revere, and San Filippo was the difference, as you know, Gloucester did get a score out of that. But they stopped them. Other than that, well, the ball is a little bit loose and held onto by Revere running back, who gets it to the 43.
Now the question is, you know, Gloucester's got their second unit in, and you know, as a Revere coach, what's going through your mind? Do I want to build some confidence with my first offense? Do I want to put the other kids in? It's always kind of, you know, a tough situation of which way you go.
Well, Jeremiah Miniweather got the yardage on that time, 8 yards, and nice run by Miniweather. And Gabriel Felix Martinez is into the lineup on offense. We've got a lot of other guys in there as well for Revere. Jonathan Murphy now is split out to the left side, and the quarterback is still Sullivan with a running back in the backfield. Sullivan will keep it He's hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle, and with second effort gets that first down. He doesn't want to go down. He's not going down
he's
easily.
a big boy, too.
Yes, sir. Nice effort by Sullivan. Gets the first down.
Boy, it says he's 170. He looks at least 200.
Matthew Stasio, 5'6", 140, is in the game. He's a running back for Revere. As we see Murphy now go out of the game. Also got,
47-yard line.
let's see, the clock is stopped with, no, it's still moving, 5:46 left to go. Gloucester up 34-6, and we will wrap this thing up quickly once again. Another game tomorrow on MSO on Radio Channel A, Lynn English at Beverly. And Beverly on a roll, Coach. Beverly Marblehead next week.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Is it at
Marblehead?
Oh, at Marblehead.
Yep. We can't broadcast from there, otherwise
That's
we would.
right, yeah.
No place for us to broadcast. 1st and 10, Revere on the near hash mark. Fumble, and quarterback has it, but his knee was on the ground when he picked it up, so it'll be down right there. And the quarterback is Murphy, I believe, number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Murphy. So they'll lose a yard, 1 yard, back to the 42. 2nd down, 11, clock moving, 4:43, and another impressive game by Gloucester from the second quarter on. Coming out wide to the right is Bader Heu. The quarterback is Murphy. He's back in the shotgun. And he's going to roll to his left and keep it. It's a run play. Getting a block out in front, but he's going to be thrown for a loss back to the 43.
Nice play by...
well, maybe 1 yard gain, I should say.
Miguel. Number 30 came up real quick.
That would be Juan Miguel,
yeah.
Senior, 5'6", 130. And we're at the 4-minute mark.
Taking him down for a 3-yard loss.
Timeout is taken by Revere. Ball is back to the
3:57.
43.
Game, Gloucester up 34-6 over the Revere Patriots. Next week's game will be Friday night.
Well, this will move Gloucester to 3-1, Coach. And I think it's, 2-0 in the league?
Next home game will be...
I don't know, we got the standings here somewhere. Here they are.
Here,
So Gloucester will be 2-0. Salem playing tonight. And they're playing tonight. They're playing, hosting Winthrop tonight. So Salem looking for its second win. Gloucester getting its second win tonight. Revere will fall to 0-1 in the league. So it's not a killer for Revere.
No.
At all. It's 3rd and 14 for Revere. And they're on the far hash mark. 34-6 Gloucester. And in motion, Murphy, handoff, run play, and it's going to get some yardage to the 50. I'm not sure if that was Rivera or not.
I couldn't tell. I thought it certainly looked, ran like him.
Yeah.
It'll be 4th and...
I don't think he's in the game, though.
Well, Gloucester's got Winthrop, Saugus left, and Salem.
They just entered the Gloucester end of the field.
Ball is at the Gloucester 49, so it's about a 9-yard gain. And it'll be 4th down and 6 to go for Revere, with the clock rolling at 3:15. And then the playoffs start in a couple of weeks, so we'll have to get ready for that too. And again, we will not be going to East Boston next week. The Channel B game is TBA. So we'll let you know in a couple of days what game we'll be covering. We might take a stroll up to the Cape Ann League. There's a keeper by Murphy, and he's going to bring it out to the all the way down inside the 40 to the 32. The 36 or 37 yard line. First down for the Revere quarterback.
Well, Rick, I don't know if you looked, but Murphy's a freshman.
No, I didn't. Well, that bodes well, doesn't it? For
certainly does.
For Revere, they've got a lot of youngsters, a lot of underclassmen. The ball is at the 36. 1st and 10 after the 13-yard gain on 4th and long. Split two receivers out to the right side, and Murphy is in the shotgun. He hands it off on a run play around to the right side, and the runner falls down, or he might have had some big yardage. And number 44 on your program is Yusuf Ali Buddha. He's a sophomore. And we're inside the 2-minute mark. Revere driving now downfield or headed toward the goal line. The ball is at the Gloucester 21-yard line. And they'd love to get another touchdown here as Gloucester takes a timeout. So we can start to wrap this thing up for you. It was really the second quarter that did it. Christian Sanfilippo with 3 touchdowns in this second quarter. He scored from 13 yards out with 9:04 left to go. He scored from 45 yards away with 4:33 left to go. And then he scored from 33 yards out with 1:12 left to go. So 3 touchdowns for Sanfilippo in that second quarter. He added one more in the third, a 33-yarder, making it 27-6 at that point. And the final score for Gloucester, Pena Ortiz from 10 yards away. Sullivan has the Revere touchdown. And almost 3 yards of offense again tonight for Gloucester. And in fact, they are up over 300 yards with that last touchdown. What was that? That was, I got to see what the yardage was in that. 1st and 10 Revere at the Gloucester 21. And this is a counter play. Running back has got some yardage to the 15, cuts it outside to the 10, to the 5, and out of bounds. Close to the goal line. It's going to be 1st and 10. First and goal, rather.
The Gloucester 4-yard line.
What was the number of that runner? Was it 8?
No, it was number 6.
Number 6. Okay, thank you.
So down to the Gloucester 6-yard line.
Zach Furlong with the carry.
From the Gloucester 6.
Brings it all the way down to the Gloucester 6 after the 15-yard gain. It's 1st and goal. Revere knocking on the door. Clock moving, 51
He's
seconds
another
left.
freshman.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So 1st and goal. And 1st and goal for Revere on the far hash mark. They're headed toward the goal line. Another 30. And this is a keeper by Murphy, and he goes in for the touchdown. So Murphy gets the score, and it's now 34-12. Gloucester. So 6-yard keeper. It's kind of a sweep to the left. 27 seconds, actually 26.6, but call it 27 seconds left to go in the ball game. Revere gets on the board again, 34-12, Gloucester.
Well, there's a future there.
Yeah, they've got a lot of good guys. A lot of young good guys.
I've counted 22 freshmen
really?
On the team, yes. So.
And they're getting significant playing time and playing well. Clock moving. Revere going for 2. In the shotgun, Murphy. He's going to go stutter step, and he's going to breaks tackles and goes in. How about that? He was hit and stopped, and he was wrapped up, and he still broke loose and went in for the 2 points.
I think your point is right there, Rick. Not only are they freshmen and they're playing, but they look good.
Mm-hmm. So, I think for Coach Ciccatelli, he's going to be upset with the mistakes, perhaps, and maybe not able to finish. But there's some good things here, and they're going to call it right now with 13.6 seconds left. Game over. So we'll wrap it up for our final break, and we'll come right back and talk a little bit about this one. As the final score is Gloucester 34 and Revere 14. We'll be back right after we take this break.
Thank you all for coming out.
The Gloucester House Restaurant at historic Seven Seas Wharf, 63 Roger Street, Gloucester. This is owner Lenny Linquata.
We provide service and product better than anybody else. It comes directly from our boats right to your plate. We have fishermen that work great for us. We are wholesalers that we buy what we want to serve to our customers, and we put the rest of it right out in the market.
The Gloucester House Restaurant. Visit thegloucesterhouse.com.
This is the freshest seafood you can get, from our boats to your plate.
For team uniforms and your business's corporate apparel, choose Sarkeesian Sportswear, Route 1 South in Peabody. Why Sarkeesians? It's quality. Owner Sarkis Sarkeesian.
Quality is not only the type of apparel you get and the cleanliness and the professionalism that's used in making that. The quality is in the customer service that we provide from the beginning to the end of the whole process of getting you the type of apparel or uniforms that you're looking for.
Sarkeesian Sportswear, Route 1 South Peabody, SarkeesianSports.com.
Hi folks, this is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber. And if you're thinking of replacing the windows in your home, I can understand the confusion you may be experiencing. TV, radio, and newspapers are simply filled with replacement window advertising, all promising everything under the sun and then some. At Moynihan Lumber, we offer no gimmicks, just quality products, competitively priced, sold to you by a professional salesperson who really knows what he's talking about. That's Moynihan Lumber in North Reading, Beverly, and Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Score early and often this fall with a low-rate residential loan from the Institution for Savings. The Institution for Savings has fantastic rates, low or no fees, great service, and prompt turnaround. Plus, we service our mortgages in-house, so help is always a local phone call away. For more information or to apply online 24/7, visit institutionforsavingsloans.com or call us at 978-462-2344. Institution for Savings, member FDIC and DIF, equal housing lender.
All right, we're back, 34-14. Good to see my man Jack Hansen up here. We go back, way back into the old National Guard. Remember that? All right. Quite a while ago, playing all this Vietnam-era music here. Anyway, 34-14, Gloucester pulls away with it. Coach, we went over the scoring just a minute ago. Final statistics, Christian Sanfilippo with 18 carries for 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. Obviously the story of the game on offense. I think on defense for Gloucester, you can't say enough about Nate Young. 2 interceptions and that saving tackle after it looked like he had no chance. Let me just finish the stats here. 319 total yards for Gloucester, as we mentioned, and 34-14 the final score, as Revere with about 150 yards of total offense and 85 on that big run by Victor Rivera, who looked outstanding tonight. But Gloucester pulling away with it in that big second quarter.
Well, yeah, they did, and they did it with a sweep. I mean, Revere just couldn't stop it, and Gloucester was running it from a variety of different formations, and which is tough to adjust defensively, at least on the fly. So, but I think Revere's going to win a couple games. I think they're tough. They don't give up, and certainly some of the young kids look pretty good, and maybe by mid-season they can fit some of those kids in too. Very impressive with those young kids. So Gloucester's going to try and stay healthy. Edwards didn't play much. He's got a bad ankle, and I think actually Sanfilippo's got a really sore quad, but didn't seem to slow him down too much tonight. But you know what? It's one of those things that takes forever to heal, and see what happens.
And they're both seniors, aren't they? They want to play, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, well, Coach Ciccatelli's boys will be bouncing back. They've got a home game against Saugus next Friday evening. And for Gloucester will be traveling for a road game against Winthrop, that game at East Boston. And, of course, Coach Driscoll's team on the road all year. That can't be easy either for Winthrop. And, those kids are tough, too.
Yeah, it is difficult. And, didn't Gloucester do it they played it, right, they played at Manchester where this field was being constructed.
But the teams have done it. Beverly has done it, and Danvers has done it.
Yeah. This day and age, you have to do it to get that new field because it takes so long to get it going.
Yep. Okay, well, congratulations to Coach Tony Zerilli as Gloucester now moves to 3-1, and as we said, they'll be playing Winthrop at at East Boston next week, and Revere will be hosting Saugus. So on behalf of Paul Ingram, our producer and engineer Bill Proposky, I'm Rick Moore, reminding you of the final score from Newell Stadium. It is Gloucester 34 and Revere 14. This is MSONEWSports.com.